Greetings, I am Donnie Marco, and today I'd like to talk about the very thing that I like to call hypocrisy. And this hypocrisy that I'm talking about comes from none other than the woman known as Anita Sarkeesian. Now, to many of you who don't know who she is a TV and video game critic who says a lot of video games are sexist. Now, where this hypocrisy stands, at least the part I'm going to talk about, comes from none other than her Steam curator list. And this Steam curator list has one particular title I knowingly know a lot about, at least from memory. Mirror's Edge. Now, in the description down below, you'll notice links to various things. The videos, we'll get to all why these are there later. First of all, what am I claiming? Why is Mirror's Edge sexist? And why am I saying this is hypocrisy? Well, to start off, the reason why Mirror's Edge is sexist is because of three of her very own tropes. One of them, that is for sure, 100% in there undeniably, is the damsel in distress trope. Now, you might be wondering about one thing. Well, maybe not wondering. Well, right now, huge spoiler alert. Put that out in the open right now. Spoiler alert. And in the damsel in distress trope in Mirror's Edge, it happened 2 times in the game. First time, Kate is captured, well, not captured, arrested by police for for evidence pointing to her. Kate's relation to the main protagonist is she is the main protagonist's sister. Anyone who plays the game knows Kate and Faith are sisters. Now, after that, the reason why Kate is the damsel in distress in this one, the reason I say it happens twice is it happens on 2 separate occasions. First time is, like I said, the police arrest. Well, Kate is falsely accused of murdering a politician. And the reason why she stops being a damsel for a moment is none other than because she is sprung out of jail by her very own sister, because she could not find evidence to help spring her out, or she didn't have the patience. Either way, yeah. Now, the second part, Kate is then brought to her, finds her way to Mercer, Faith and Celeste's employer. Now, you're going to be wondering, who the hell is Mercer? Well, Mercer will for sure screw with feminists because he is a white male. Now, after that, there's the second part I was talking about. Kate gets kidnapped after arriving to Mercer's place by where number 2 comes in, and Jackknife. Now, down below, there's going to be a link to an image, and that's when that comes in handy to prove that, along with the Wikipedia page. Very own Wikipedia page. Unless people want to edit the story, and then, yeah, it's going to be there as evidence. mean, Wikipedia was finally useful for something. And number two, the Miss Male character. Now, for those of you, think of the character Celeste. She's Faith's best friend, co-worker, and co-worker. She's also your rival in the game. And the strangest thing is, from what you can see happening throughout the game, up until that point, you never knew what was coming. That Celeste would betray you, help Jackknife kidnap Kate, and go train the police force in how to be like runners. Now, this is where the misspelled character part comes in. She dresses in armor that you can't tell if it's a girl or a guy. And the reason why is quite obvious. You can't see anything like breasts or a bulge. And that is only because of the armor. And in fact, she's the only one wearing more armor than her other counterparts. So you would think something like a captain or a lieutenant immediately if you're like a gamer who usually plays shooters. And until you beat her, the helmet doesn't come off. And what's nifty about this is after the helmet comes off, Celeste explains she was hired to not only help kidnap Kate, sorry about the alarm, help kidnap Kate, and work for the police force to help train them. Now, then you get to the point where it comes up with my third one. This one is just me saying, this is that. Because in Anita Sarkeesian's video, before we continue, she has a video called Fighting Fucktoy. And she particularly talks about Bayonetta, which doesn't really help considering the fact what Bayonetta is. I mean, she's a witch. And that doesn't, say everything. Like, I mean, fuck, if we had Morrigan, all of a sudden, yeah, dressed the way she does, then it wouldn't make any sense why Bayonetta would have to do the same thing. It's explainable into a trope called demon nets, I guess. I don't know. I didn't watch all of her series. I only watched the ones that said tropes versus women. And I could see Faith being a fighting fuck toy. And this is where I get this idea from, is none other than the fact that you can kill every single police officer in the game. Not only that, but also she is providing, the main character is providing fetish fuel, which when you do the slide tackle, it's almost like as if she pauses for a second, like as if she's posing for a little bit, like, well, a split second, mind you, and kicks him in the groin. It's like, hi, how you doing? Kick! Now you go down. And it's, yeah. To someone who oftentimes dips into BDSM searches for pictures, it's kind of like you see this kind of shit all the time. Woman stuffing a guy's testicles. There you go. Fetish fuel. But that's not the only thing that's added fetish fuel. The fact how Kate is dressed as well. There are multiple different kinds of fetishes, and my friends have helped me figure that out. Some friends I have fetishes to colors. Like, you could have like an ugly as hell looking character wear a certain color and they would fact to it. Now, considering Faith wears red, that's another fetish. You see where I'm going with this? It's personalization fetishes. Because I know for sure I have one based on stockings and women's clothing. In fact, I already have some women's clothing. But anyway, that's besides the point. Now we get to the part where I said, why is this making it hypocrisy? Well, the way I see her Steam curator list is that it's kind of like a kosher list that Rabbi brings, saying this is kosher and that is kosher. And because of that, it's like as if she's making her own religion on Steam. She's saying, these are perfectly acceptable games. You can play these anytime you want. And it's like, when, what was it? When I heard rabbis said McDonald's is kosher. It's like, they'll like have like a pulled pork sandwich, and a rabbi would say, it's kosher. And you'll see a bunch of Hebrews or Jews or whatever go eat pulled pork sandwiches. Which, when you think about it, is kind of like hypocrisy, considering they don't eat pork. And that's what it seems to be. Is that her entire tropes saying that these things are sexist, and her Steam curator list contradicting sometimes her very own sayings is kind of what defeats the goddamn purpose. And it's that makes me think, boom, hypocrisy. Hypocrisy, hypocrisy, hypocrisy. Because it's acting like as if she's fighting against these tropes, but then when you look at the games she's spewing in her curator list, or the positive female characters in the games they're from, it equals that of what she's fighting. She's shoveling the shit she's fighting into your face and say, this is acceptable. And it doesn't make any sense. And this is where I'm going to leave off with two phrases. Both, well, they might not actually go with what I'm saying, but one of them kind of does. One's from, I think his name was Freddy or Frank Games here on YouTube. And his phrase goes like this: if you consider video games art, then it's going to offend someone anyway. Now, keep that in mind. That means no matter what, something is going to offend someone. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter how. It'll happen. Now, here's where phrase number 2 comes into play. By a Walt Disney, and I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but here we go. Don't cater to a specific demographic, or you risk losing everything. And that phrase right there, hoping all you game devs that if you happen to be listening to this, hear that. Because you don't have to cater to anyone but what you want to cater to. Meaning you can do what you want, and if people will say it's a good game or vote with their wallets. I mean, look how Call of Duty's become so fucking popular. And there you go. There's that, then you look at Minecraft, and then you look at Shovel Knight. All those games are popular, and yet Shovel Knight, based on Anita Sarkeesian's Tropes, sexist game. Because you rescue Shield Knight. Well, anyways, this is Audio Marco Hope you enjoyed listening to me, and bid you adieu. Good night, everyone.